Now, half of a biodiversity-rich forest in Singapore's Ulu Pandan estate will be retained as a nature park after public outcry over plans to develop the site for residential use. But the other half of what's known as the Dover Forest will be set aside for housing and commercial development. Isabel Lim with more.
The clearing of this forest was thought to be a foregone conclusion just months ago. But now, part of it is getting a new lease on life.
I'm standing here on the western side of the Ulu Pandan site, and under newly announced plans, all the trees that you see behind me on this side, they'll be standing for at least 10 more years as a nature park. But if you follow me towards the boundary area and towards the eastern side of the site, these trees over here, they won't be standing for long, and that's because the land that they are on is going to be developed for residential and commercial use.
The decision came after it was found that the western part of the forest is richer in biodiversity and contains more threatened and native species. It also took into account a 2-month public feedback process that drew 1,800 responses.
While we have deferred the development plans for the western half of Ulu Pandan, for the eastern half, we will have to proceed with development for public housing. And this is to meet the significant demand for public housing. We will also be developing the eastern half sensitively. We will weave in green spaces and enhance existing blue spaces to improve livability and ecological connectivity.
The 33-hectare site next to Dover MRT station is being divided roughly into 2 equal parts. While the eastern side will be developed from next year, it will still have about 5 hectares of lush greenery. An existing stream will be retained and a park nectar running along the length of the site planted up. This green space will be more than 5 times what was originally planned. But with significant construction required, one expert says steps will need to be taken to safeguard what nature remains during the process.
Noise would be one potential impact, especially construction noise. Then the question is there a time of day where wildlife, for example, is maybe more sensitive to this noise or more sensitive to light? Try to minimize those impacts or maybe stop the work at a certain time, just when wildlife are starting to stir.
The first public housing projects here will be launched in the second half of 2022.